Hi, and welcome to today's podcast. My guest today is Ryan.
Hi.
How you feeling today?
Great.
Great. He's here with me to talk about Zelda games. Now, what's the first Zelda game you ever played?
It must have been Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time? That's the earliest one you remember?
That's probably when I first started playing them.
Started playing them? Yeah. And what you like most about that game?
Probably that it was the first 3D thing that came before Majora's Mask, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First 3D Zelda title.
Yeah. And it was just so huge, open world. It just looked beautiful for the time being.
It's true, and the updated version makes it look even better.
The 3DS is probably the best Zelda game out. The Link Between Worlds was alright, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, Link Between Worlds, I really liked it. When I play through it again, I'm going to reevaluate it, but for now, I think it's really good. It's in my top 10. I think it was number 7.
I think it's kind of like a crappy remake of A Link to the Past, even though I didn't fully play through that one. I feel like A Link to the Past could be better. They just wanted to remake a game.
See, I am on the opposite of that. A lot of people, everybody loves A Link to the Past, but me. Like, I think it's a very overrated game. I think it's more just an updated version of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely different game in its sense, but it just feels like it's just because it's 16-bit. It was so new at the time. Everybody loved it. But compared to Ocarina's story and everything, it just doesn't fall. It falls short, I think. Now, my first game I remember playing is Link's Awakening on the Game Boy Color.
Mm-hmm.
Or, well, it would have been the original Game Boy at the time, and then it got remade for the DX. Yeah. Now, what's your thoughts on that game? Did you like it?
There's an egg thing, right?
Yeah.
It's on top of a mountain at the end, you hatch it, right?
Yeah.
And, honestly, to play through it, I did use a walkthrough, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Because I was just aimlessly for a good 2 hours walking around the world trying to figure out where I was going. So I just opened up a walkthrough and basically beat the whole game that way.
Are you one of those people?
Well, for that game, yeah. Every other title I haven't, but that is the only one that I had to.
That you used the Game Shark. Or,
Game Shark.
Not a Game Shark.
I just used Zelda Wiki.
Yeah, Zelda Wiki. Well, just a game walkthrough is what I meant to
Yeah.
say. Now, Majora's Mask at the time, I already said this in my other video, but I really didn't care for it. I kind of wrote it off in the series. But playing it years later, I love it, and it's definitely one of the top 3. I mean, it's so much different because it's not Hyrule. It just makes it so much more interesting and such a more deep story than a lot of other Zelda games.
But also the Oracle of Ages series, they're not Hyrule either, right?
That's true. No, they're not.
They're Labyrintha or something like that.
Yeah, and there's 2 different places.
Yeah.
I can't think of the other name right now off the top of my head. But I just thought that with Ocarina's game style and even updated the graphics a little bit, I'd love to see a Majora's Mask 3DS remake.
And there is, I still think they're teasing about it, because in Link to the Past, they did have that in the shop where you rent the items. They had the Majora's Mask sitting on the wall.
I think they will, probably after, depending on how sales go. If sales go down a little bit, they might bring it out a little bit quicker, but I don't see why they wouldn't remake it. It's easy money. They just got to update it.
I've never played through it, and I've tried, and I've failed every time, but if they were to do a 3DS, I probably would play through it again.
Yeah, you definitely try to get through it. I guess I couldn't ask you what your favorite mask in the game is.
I feel overpowered by that moon coming to crush me all the time. So I just cannot
you just
get through it. I give up. I just feel like it's gonna squish me, and I get scared, and I just stop playing.
Well, I mean, you can just go back in time.
I run around a lot before I figure out what I'm doing.
Well, then you reset the game and you go right there.
That's a whole other 3 hours that I don't have to waste.
That's true. Moving on, I guess. Wind Waker. When that came out, what did you think? What did you think of Wind Waker?
I didn't get it right on release. I bought it for the GameCube maybe a couple years later.
That's the same as me. I didn't buy it right at release either. When they first announced that, I was furious.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what is this, Paper
Zelda?
Yeah, the Paper Zelda now? Like, what is this crap?
It's actually the story. It's probably my favorite, not my favorite story, but besides not playing Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time being the top, it's a good choice.
Oh, it's a great game,
The
definitely.
sailing was phenomenal.
Sailing's so much fun. In the HD version,
So much better.
flawless. Like cut down at the end of the game so much, which was one of my biggest problems with it. And they upgraded the sail, so now you can sail faster.
Hmm.
So really, they took a really great game and made it even better. Now, Phantom Hourglass, which was the sequel pretty much to Wind Waker. What did you
Well, it's been quite a few years since I played it, but I really liked the what was the guy's name?
lineback?
Lineback.
Yeah.
He had a good. I don't know. They gave him kind of a good sense of humor. I guess I think, from what I can remember, and just the overall story was. It was just great to play through. It's like long road trips kind of thing. You just put it in and go from there.
It's true. It's one of my more favorite handheld titles. It gets a lot of hate from some people though, but I really like it. I prefer it any given day over Spirit Tracks. Now, did you play? You said you hadn't played Spirit Tracks.
No, I never got a chance to actually buy it. I couldn't really find it anywhere at that point in time because it seemed like it was just too far in time of that year that they just were not selling it anymore, and I'd probably have to go to a flea market to even think about buying it.
Yeah, I I bought it. I got it when it first came out. Played it. Actually, I don't like that game. I never liked it for the moment I saw it, but I said, "Oh, I gotta try it. It's a Zelda game, of course, right?" Um, the thing I hate is the blowing into the flute into the Wii mic. There's a flute. Yeah, I could never get it to work. I don't know what I was doing wrong. I ended up taking it with me to college, and one of my classmates, like, she had a DS and was like, "Can you try this to get it to work?" And she got it like instantly the first time, and I know I still couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. So every time I got to a song in the game, I'd wait, take it in the next day, give it to her to do, and she'd get it. But I didn't. I don't like the train in Zelda. Like, trains in Zelda seem too far in the future to me. When I think of trains, I think of like Civil War, like the 1900s, the 1800s, not medieval times.
Yeah, exactly.
Twilight Princess. Now, were you pumped for this game when it first came out?
I actually don't even remember when it came out. I tried several times to do a playthrough and just recently beat it for the first time maybe a month ago.
Wow. Now, did you beat it on the Wii version or the GameCube?
It was the Wii.
I own both versions. I've yet to beat it on the GameCube version, but I'm going to play through that again next. I'm currently playing through A Link Between Worlds, so that'll be one of my next games to play. But I love Twilight Princess. I was so pumped from when this game came out. I got the Wii on launch day for that game, like, and played it straight, just every day I could. 10 hours of straight gameplay, not straight one day, but I just couldn't get into it enough. Midna was an amazing character, like, definitely the best side character in the game. I'm gonna say, phenomenal.
And the whole wolf, adding the wolf into the game as Link can transfer into the Twilight realm, I think that just complements it.
I think yes. I think it enhances the game rather than takes it away because you could choose to be a wolf later on in the game, but the length of the time where you had to be a wolf wasn't more than like maybe half an hour to an hour. So it wasn't like I'm not going to get to stab people for another 3 hours. Like, no, you got to play as Link with the sword much more than the wolf. So I think they did that right. I guess the last game we're going to talk about here is Skyward Sword.
I still haven't fully played through it. I'm maybe like an hour in, and I had a real trouble finding the bird for a while. I just ran around aimlessly because I really don't like the running in it. I'd much rather have the classic roll.
Yes, I would have to agree. I don't really care for the gauge because I just want to sprint all the time. I find myself sprinting too much because you move so slow without sprinting.
Exactly.
But I don't like how barren the sky is. There's nothing to go see. It's not like the ocean. It seemed like everywhere there was an island to go check out, and there was so much to do. But the sky is just so barren and vacant. There's not enough to do.
It's just like dropping in a hole in a area to area, and it doesn't have a very way to go. It doesn't show you which hole you drop into next if you just jump into the game after not playing for a while.
I agree. I also don't like flying at all. I didn't care for that. I don't care for the boss that you're going to meet later on either. I didn't like that boss. I found that very frustrating. It took me probably an hour to finally beat it, and I think I almost died like 4 times doing it. And I think I'm playing through it currently again too. Like I'm doing Link Between Worlds and Skyward Sword right now, and I don't dislike it as much as I did 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago it came out, 2 or 3.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I didn't pay much attention to it. I didn't like the motion plus that came with it, so I just didn't bother.
I don't. Yes, that's another big issue I have with it. I don't like the motion control puzzles, like spinning the Wii remote around to make the eye destroy itself because it's going dizzy.
Or
like,
when you get to the end of a temple, you got to hold straight up in the air to
yes, it just
send that beam out.
just let me hit B and it do it on its own.
Yeah.
Like I hate motion controls. I never liked it to begin with. Twilight Princess wasn't really motion controls. You just swing your arm a little bit.
Yeah, which really just had to flick it.
Yeah, which was fine. Had no problem with that. But there should be an option for motion controls, but also no motion controls.
Exactly.
And I think people would like the Wii a lot better if they did that. But overall, I guess Skyward Sword is not a terrible game. It's not my least favorite in the series. Like Spirit Tracks is, I'm going to say, is my least favorite game in the series. And it's not like I've only played it once and got frustrated. I've tried to play it again, and that flute just takes me right out of the game.
I don't even think I'm even going to give it a try.
No?
No, not really a point to it. If you're saying that you don't really like it and you're frustrated, then I think I'll probably be... I guess I really don't like how it just plays out. So the train, as you said, is just annoying, and the mic, trains don't fit in, the mic doesn't work well. If your DS is broken, I mean, you're probably out of luck for playing the game at all.
Yeah, I would have to agree, and I don't know, it just seems like it's not very user-friendly. Like, if you're not really close to the note, it doesn't give it to you. Like, what was wrong with just hitting buttons for Ocarina of Time? Mm-hmm. They didn't need motion controls to make the game amazing, or blowing into the mic to play a flute. Like, if I want to play a flute, I'll go do it in real life.
But I really like that soundtrack, though, for that game.
Spirit Tracks?
No, for Ocarina of Time.
Yes, I do.
I don't know the Spirit Track soundtrack.
Yeah. But I mean, yes, like there's nothing wrong with the way they did in Ocarina of Time, pushing the C buttons.
That was a great idea.
Yeah. I'm saying they should do that again.
I'd probably play... That's probably the game that I'd go back to anytime I could pick up and just play it. Ocarina of Time.
I agree. I beat it probably at least 50 times.
No problem.
I can pop it in any day of the week.
It's just now you play it so much that you just start it up and just... You know what to do.
Yeah.
You just go here, go there, you're done.
It's too easy now. Well, thank you, Ryan, for joining me today.
Thank you.